Off the back, let me just say, this is not something that I intended to do on this channel. But being that it's still relatively young as far as viewership and subscribership, I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. Why not? And what am I talking about? I came up with a theory, a Star Wars theory nonetheless. So let me holler at you. Welcome back, folks, to ER Entertainment. I am your host, your boy Blunt. And let me just jump into it, right? Because I understand that this is going to be a little crazy because Star Wars fans are some of the harshest fans on earth. So, even though, again, I didn't intend this channel to do this on this channel, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there so I can just start adding more content or whatever. But in order for me to give you my full theory, I have to put things into context. I'm trying not to make this a long video, but I want to put things in context real quick. So it starts off with Return of the Jedi. Of course, we know what happens at the end. Vader comes back around to the light side, throws Emperor Palpatine down the shaft, he explodes. So we think. Now, the funny thing about this is a lot of this stuff has been in our faces for a while. I'm not sure why none of the other channels that I follow actually came up with this theory. And as of right now, I haven't seen any of them say it or come up with it. Right now, I feel like I'm the only one. So, we start off with Return of the Jedi. Emperor Palpatine gets thrown down, right? This is how I feel Palpatine's return comes about. Now, we fast forward to Rebels. I think it's season 2 or I don't remember which season it is, but there's an episode in Rebels where Ezra makes it into the world between worlds, right? If you haven't seen Rebels, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. Go watch it. There's an episode where Ezra, with the help of Sabine, cracks the code to get into the gateway that leads him into the world between worlds, where he saves Ahsoka from getting killed by Vader, right? And after he saves Ahsoka, he realizes that he can also save Kanan. Again, if you haven't seen Rebels, these going to be heavy spoilers for you. I'm sorry. Stop this, go watch Rebels, then come back to this. But after he saves Ahsoka, he gets the idea that he can save Kanan. Before he does that, Ahsoka talks him out of it, right? So he has to watch Kanan die all over again, which was very hard touching. But then right after that, who else pops up in the world between worlds but Emperor Palpatine? And when we see Palpatine, he's working this dark magic. This not dark magic, this Sith magic, where he's standing in a dark room, hovered by blue flames, hovering over blue flames or saying some incantations. I hope I'm saying that right. And he sees Ezra and Ahsoka in the world between worlds, and actually chases them with the blue flame that he has in front of him, which then grabs Ezra by the ankle and starts to pull him back towards him. I really don't understand how Ezra's ankle didn't get burnt, but the only way he let go is when Ahsoka uses the lightsaber to bash the flames, and it kind of hurts Palpatine. But then he reaches back into it with the flames again and actually pierces the gateway into the world between worlds. Right? Now remember that, right? So now we know at this point in stage that Palpatine returned because of the new trilogies that came out, and somehow he lived. Now my theory, here's where my theory comes in. If you remember the Return of the Jedi, when Vader threw him down the shaft and we got that big explosion, I think that was Palpatine entering the world between worlds, because of the blue flame that came spewing out of the shaft. I think that was the Sith magic that he was practicing when he entered the world between worlds to try and get Ezra. So I think at some point he was still practicing that and knew that he would have to rely on that at some point. But I think he stayed there for a little while to manipulate things from between worlds until he can get a satisfactory clone or a body that can embody his soul, I guess you could say. And he kind of found that was between creating Snoke and maybe some Star Killer or whoever, if you follow, the lore. So that's my one theory, is that when Palpatine got thrown down the shaft and that blue explosion happened, that was him entering the world between worlds. We just didn't know about it till Rebels. And I really feel like Filoni and Lucas talked about this because, Rebels came out before the new trilogies came out, and Palpatine is back. So I think they might have discussed that a long time ago and incorporated into Rebels as a way to get him to come back. Does it make sense? It could, maybe not. I think it makes perfect sense. Yeah, I think that's my theory right there, bro. If you think I have a valid point, you can leave it in the comments. I know some of these Star Wars fans are gonna come at me. You can put those in the comments also. I got thick skin, I could take it. If it's valid, invalid, let me know. But I think that's how Palpatine comes back, because he was using that Sith magic, and when Vader threw him down that shaft, he conjured up whatever conjure spells he needed to spell and willed himself through the portal into the world between worlds. And he stayed there for a little while, manipulating things behind the scenes, because you can do that in there, until he found a way to resurrect somebody worthy enough to embody himself back into. This is like a bonus theory, and again, I know I could be way off, completely off, and I know you guys will let me know. But I think, and I don't know if I don't know if it was mentioned in the comments, but I think that when they say Anakin is the chosen one, I think that was also a part of Palpatine's plan. I think Anakin, because Anakin was born with no father, so he was a product of somebody's manipulating the midichlorians, which I believe was Palpatine. But I don't think Palpatine meant for him to be the chosen one for the Jedi. I think when you say the chosen one, he was meant to build Anakin up to be the most powerful Force user ever, so that he himself can take over Anakin's body and live on through Anakin, and so forth and so forth. So I think when you say the chosen one, he used the Jedi's own arrogance to let them bring him up using light side magic, because he knew all the dark side magic, all the dark side force, right? So he said, let them raise him using the good, and I'm going to show him how to use the bad, where he'll be the best of both worlds, and then I can take over Anakin and live forever. I think that's something that Palpatine would come up with. What you guys think? Am I way off? Am I completely off? Am I off my rocker?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
And should I just go take my meds and sit down and have 2 seats and shut up? Listen, come at me at the comments, y'all. Come at me. Until then, I'll catch you guys later.